Hello everybody, my name is Yasmine Alice and welcome to this video where I'll be sharing with you everything that has happened in Northern Cyprus, where we've been celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Londonist DMC. Enjoy! I am now with Arda Sayıner and he's just finished his panel. I would like to first of all say thank you for joining us in this panel, and how did it go?
Wonderful. Thank you very much for having me. It was wonderful. We had lots of attendees. Obviously, they were all pretty much interested in the networking subject. As you know, it's such a popular subject. So I'm sure, I hope actually, they got benefit out of it.
Could you please tell our viewers your career background a little bit?
I'm a journalist and brand consultant. I started my career in Turkey, then moved to London first when I was 21 and did my internship at BBC World Service. Then I moved to United States for another internship at United Nations. Then I got my master's degree in the US, started working for different PR and communication companies, and finally I founded my own company in Turkey, and recently I moved to London like 3 years ago.
Thank you so much for that. So I would like to know, what is the most important thing one should pay attention to when you go to a networking event in person?
First of all, you should know where you're going exactly. You shouldn't just go to events just to be there. So basically you need to be aware of where you're going, who to target, and secondly, you should be on time, not late. And as I said during the panel, you should go with a full stomach. So events are not just, toast drinks or to eat, on an open buffet. So basically you shouldn't spend your time with eating. You should go with the full stomach and just do networking instead of spending your time in front of the open buffet, for example. So, but rather than that, of course, you should have your business card, either, print one or online, and just do the networking. You shouldn't stay in the corner, just go around, mingle with people, and use the time efficiently.
What if someone doesn't have the courage to go up to people? What should they do? What kind of advice would you give to them?
For someone who doesn't have the courage, they should definitely push themselves. So, they should motivate themselves and dream, what will be the result of the networking. If we have some dreams, if we have some targets in life, then we should really motivate ourselves and push and go to that networking event and be very outgoing. So that's the thing. Otherwise, it needs to come naturally, nobody can force you to be a good networker. You should force yourself.
Great tips right there. Even I feel educated. And we've talked about in-person networking events. How can we do networking online?
So very good question. So there are lots of websites, and social media by itself is a huge opportunity. But first of all, before you go online networking, you should know and be aware of what's your profile. So basically your profile should look very professional and very real. That's the first thing. So if you're not real online, doesn't matter what you are in real life, because people will expect to see the same in real life. If you have, unrealistic image in online world, at the end of the day, the person that you met online, you will come to face. So basically, either you should reflect and still keep the same image or not to be fake. So basically, there are many websites, many social media platforms, as all you know, but it's not about the platform. It's all about the content that you represent, and your image. So it has to be 100% real, 100% authentic and organic.
Let's give an example of a final year student or a new graduate. What can they do to improve their networking skills to get those really important internships or job offers?
Actually, it's all about knowing your talent, knowing your value, because as I said during the panel, the networking is not about what you can take, it's all about what you can give. So if you don't have any talent, any education, you cannot give anything. So basically, you should ask yourself as a new graduate, so who is the target person that I would like to reach? And then what's the expectation of that person? What he or she needs in real life? And then you should be the answer to that needs. So basically, even though you're a new graduate or maybe you're still studying, you should analyze who wants what, and if I have that talent, that answer in my real life or not, and then develop yourself accordingly.
Really valuable advice there. My last question is going to be a bit of an interesting one. Let me challenge you on this. Do you agree or disagree? Should we be exaggerating? I'm not saying lying, but should we be boasting or exaggerating when we go to a networking event? When we see, for example, a CEO of a company that we really want to work for them and for the organization that they represent. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's always good to be bold, and you should definitely make them feel that you have self-confidence. But the question is, can you meet the other criteria and standards afterwards? That's all about, You can be very active and you can talk very loud, but also afterwards you should deliver what you promise. So that's all about that.
So if they ask you about your language skills and you're like, well, I speak 10 languages, and then they're like, oh, really? let's have a conversation in French, and you're like, oh. Any final words of advice for our students that are watching?
Just be social, go everywhere, don't be lazy. Good networkers are never lazy. So that's my advice.
Umang, long time no see since our last amazing interview. How have you been?
Been very well, Yasmine. Thank you. How you been?
I'm very good. Is this your first time in Cyprus?
This is actually my first time in Cyprus, actually. I'm loving it. I'm loving the hot weather. Just come back from Brazil and New York, so it's good to get the heat again. So yeah, it's been good.
And what a wonderful event to be meeting you here. 10-year anniversary with Londonist DMC. I really want to know from you. First of all, please tell our viewers, if they don't know, what you do with Londonist. And then tell me, please, what is the reason for 10 strong years with this company?
So I'm Umang. I'm the Executive Director at Londonist. I think these 10 years have been built on a great foundation, great teamwork, great strategy, great mentality. Of course, there's been challenging times, as it always is in any business, but I think it's that togetherness at Londonist that kind of separates us in the industry, 10 years is a milestone, and we look forward to the next 10, 100, 1,000 years.
What's your favourite thing about working for Londonist DMC?
I think my favourite part of working with Londonist is working with an international team. As you would see here, we've got people from China, we've got people from Turkey, we've got people from Europe. I love working with an international team, learning from them, different mentalities. That actually helps you with your business strategy as well, just learning from different mindsets as well. I think that's what I love about Londonist DMC.
And how long have you been within the company?
Been at Londonist now close to 6 years. So been there since when we had 5 employees, now to over 150. So it's been an amazing journey for myself, an emotional one, but one I always will remember in my heart.
And what does the future hold for Londonist DMC in the next, let's say, 10 years? Take over the world?
Yeah, they say the future, you shouldn't predict it, you should make it yourself. And I think with us at Londonist, we're making the future of the PBSA sector. Many exciting things to come, some things I cannot say, but I'll just say watch this space.
I just want to make sure that the audience, which is generally students and prospective students who are going to be moving abroad and using your services, but what kind of an advice could you give to them so that they can be as successful as you are in your career?
I'd always just say be confident, UK can be a daunting place potentially. You just have to be very confident in what you do. The world's your oyster, It is what you make it. If you want to be successful, you will be successful. It's that mentality.
I'm with the lovely Ms. Susan Fang. We've just finished our panel, which was absolutely brilliant. You can watch that on our YouTube channel as well. And how are you feeling?
Feeling great. Thank you so much for that time. You moderated so well. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the compliment. I will take it. So a little bit of a background, just like we did inside, about your career path and your bio, please.
Sure, no problem. So I started my company 21 years ago, and I've been bringing in international students from China, from East Asia to UK for all the past 2 decades. But I didn't start out as an education consultant. I started out trained as an architect, and then I pivoted, become a journalist just like yourself. And afterwards, I got into education. So this is my second pivot.
I'm not surprised that you have a background in journalism. You're really good with the stage and talking and, with giving speeches. Well done. So my first question is going to be, how did you become partners, or how did you get to know Londonist DMC?
Well, one of my very dearest friends, Umang, he holds a very important position in this company, so I've known him for quite a while. In fact, our time goes way back. He knows some of our colleagues, because did you know that he speaks Mandarin quite fluently? Yeah, so he single-handedly instrumental, took Londonist DMC to, the East Asia, and really carved up a very cushy market in the whole of China. And I'm very, very proud of that. I'm so pleased that we can actually work together on that remit.
And we have a lot of students and prospective students who watch this YouTube channel. And with you having such an impressive and amazing career path, what kind of advice would you give to the younger generation who would be inspired to have a career just like yours?
Oh, Well, there's so many. Is this particularly towards the Chinese market, or it could be any international? Because I was just going to break into Chinese, yeah. But no, I'm speaking in English. I think the key thing is have expectations, but also don't have too much expectation. What I mean is have dreams, chase them, but don't expect things should or will always turn out that they should, the way they should be, because it doesn't. Sometimes it gets even better. So let's just roll with it and embrace. And if you fall down, pick yourself up again and just carry on.
And I want to ask one more question before I let you go. Which universities did you attend?
I was actually at University of Cambridge. Wow. That's what I did, architecture.
I mean, Cambridge grad, not surprised.
And that's the reason that the name of the OxBridge. This is my brand, my company, OxBridge Education.
Susan, thank you so much. I'm with Mr. Saurabh Arora right here, and I have to say, wonderful suit. I love this.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about what you do for a living, your career path, and everything that entails.
I accommodate people for my living. We are very passionate about it. In fact, during this conference, there were lots of brainstorming sessions happen. And one of the brainstorm session was what you were doing 10 years back and what you will be doing 10 years later. And I'm one of those lucky and fortunate person wherein 10 years back I went into student housing. And next 10 years, I will definitely be into student housing. When 10 years back, we started New Lodgers and then University Living, Unionist and so many other brands in this sector. We wanted to be one of the best. And now we want to be one of the largest and the world most respected and trusted platform. And next 10 years, I would say I will doing the same. Probably a bit more better, a bit more larger, on that mission to not just be a managed marketplace, but probably an operator come managed marketplace. Not in UK, not in US, Australia, but probably on the moon, probably on the Mars. You don't know.
You never know. I mean, didn't India just land on the moon? It's insane. Okay, so how did your journey with Londonist DMC begin?
Okay, so it's very emotional. Right, it's back 2018. Londonist was growing global. I called up this guy called Burak, lovely soul, and he connected with me with Asim Bey and Umang, and since then it seems we just started yesterday. But the kind of work we have done, probably we have done work more than of 10 years because the things we have evolved, right from launching this new platform called Unionist for a flexible accommodation, and there's so much to do. So London is not a family or a partner, it's us, it's together.
I feel like this was worthy of becoming a commercial, like an official commercial for Londonist DMC. I just want to also ask, where did you do your education?
So it's funny, I'm an international student, but I came to January for an exchange program back in Nottingham. So, from a Delhi guy, we'll take it up. We are a street smart people. We don't need to book early. I got a shock of my life. I arrived in Nottingham. There was no housing. I stayed in a hotel for 1.5 months. And paying in pounds from a middle class family. I didn't choose this sector chose me, and now I'm an evangelist for everyone to start early and look beyond just admission, and housing is very important. In India we call it roti, kapda and makan. It's like food, clothes and shelter. So we are taking up shelter, and we are very, very proud and happy that we got into something which is actually a need-based product, and we are not mis-selling or overselling. Everyone needs accommodation. If we are able to provide them safe, secure, value for money accommodation, we are happy. We are doing good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.